Hi everyone, I hope you're okay. This is part 2 guys of the Haloalkanes video. All that I'll be doing is to name the organic molecules that I have here and then draw the structural formulas of the molecules that I have there. Okay, for haloalkanes, it's very simple guys. Now, firstly I must establish my my parent chain. Nah? My parent chain should have a carbon which is bonded with the halogen. Are we together? A carbon which is bonded with the halogen. So I know that this will be carbon number 1, 2, and 3. And whenever guys I number my carbons, I must start counting from the terminal, which is closer to the substituents. Are we together? The substituents can be the halides or the halides, or sometimes called or sometimes known as halogens, or it can be side chains. Are you together? I must start numbering my carbons from the terminal, which is either closer to the halogen or a side chain. In this case, I don't have side chains, so I must start counting from the carbon which is closer to the halogen. Are you together? So that's carbon number 1, 2, and 3. I know that at carbon number 2, I have my chloro. My prefix will be chloro. And then after mentioning the addition, I must just name the actual compound, which is propane. Are you together? Okay, and then for the second one, this will be carbon number 1, 2, 3, and 4. At carbon number 3 as well as carbon number 4, I have bromine. So I'll simply say dibromo since I have two of them. Ne? I'll simply say dibromo. The parent chain has 4 carbons, so this will simply be butane. Okay, at compound number 3, that's my parent chain over there. I must start numbering from the terminal, which is closer to the halogen. Are you together? So over here, I do have a halogen at carbon number 1. So that will be carbon number 1, 2, 3, and 4. I have two different halogens, or two different substituents or additions to my alkane. Whenever I mention them, I need to mention them in an alphabetical order. Bromo should appear before chloro alphabetically. So I'll simply say that in carbon number 3, I have a bromo, and then in carbon number 1, at carbon number 1 rather, I have chloro. This thing has 4 carbons on the parent chain, so that's chlorobutane. Okay. For the fourth compound, this will be my parent chain. I must start numbering from the carbon which is closer to the substituent. Are you together? If I start over here, guys, I can see that in carbon number 2, there are 2 different substituents. I have an iodine as well as a side chain. Are you together? But if I wanted to start from the right hand side, on the right hand side, I only have a side chain which is added to my compound there. So that's why I will start on the left hand side, because more things are happening closer to the terminal carbon. So that will be carbon number 1, carbon 2, 3, 4, and 5. Are you together? And the additions that I have iodos at carbon number 2 and 3. And then at carbon number 2 and 4, I have my side chains, which are methyls. Now, please guys, remember that whenever I name the substituents, I need to name them in an alphabetical order. The main compound that I have there is an alkane. However, it has substituents, hence it is no longer an alkane but a haloalkane. Are you together? The type of substituents or additions that I have on my compound is the halogens as well as the side chains. Are you together? The halogens are iodine, and the side chains, they're just methyls. I should appear before M in alphabetical order. So I'll simply mention the iodines first. That 2.3, diiodo, diiodo, and then 2.4 dimethyl. The parent chain is 5 carbons, so this will be pentane. That will be pentane. Okay. Compound number 5. This will be my parent chain. I must obviously start numbering my carbons from the terminal which is closer to the substituent. And the substituent can either be a side chain or a halogen. In this case, I can see that in this terminal carbon, I have a halogen. So that will be carbon number 1, carbon 2, 3, 4, and 5. Are we together? So whenever I name these substituents, I need to name them in an alphabetical order. I have 2 of the chloros, I have 2 of the methyls, and then I only have 1 ethyl. Are we together? I need to mention them in an alphabetical order. So chloro should appear before ethyl. So I'll simply say at carbon number 1 and 2, I have my chloro. And then at carbon number 3, I have an ethyl. And then at carbon number 4, I have dimethyl. The parent chain has 5 carbons, so that will simply be pentane. So the full IUPAC name is just 1.2 dichloro, 3 ethyl, and then 4.4 dimethyl pentane. Okay, and now let's go to the other compound. You must start numbering from the terminal which is closer to the substituent. At carbon number 1, I can see an addition there. There's chloro over there. There's another one there. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Are we together? And then I can also see that I have other substituents over there. That's methyl number 1 and 2. And then this will be the only ethyl that I have. I need to mention these substituents in an alphabetical order, and then state the suffix of my compound. Yeah? I know that at carbon number 1 as well as carbon number 4, I simply have my dichloro. Okay, at carbon number 3, I have an ethyl. So at carbon number 3 again, as well as carbon number 5, I have my dimethyl. Since I have 6 carbons on the parent chain, this will be hexane. So the IUPAC name of this compound will be 1.4 dichloro, 3 ethyl, 3.5 dimethyl hexane. Okay, number 7. I must start numbering from the terminal which is closer to the substituent. Are you together? So this will be carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I have my fluoro at carbon number 1, another fluoro at carbon number 4, and then at carbon number 3, I have an ethyl, and then at carbon number 4 as well as carbon number 3, I have my methyl. So all I have to do, guys, is to mention the additions in an alphabetical order first. So this will simply be 3 ethyl, and then I'll simply say 1.4 difluoro, and then I'll simply have 3.4 dimethyl pentane. Are you together? This would be 3 ethyl, 1.4 difluoro, and then 3.4 dimethyl pentane. Okay, carbon number 8, guys, it's a haloalkene because we have a double bond. Nah? Whenever we have a double bond, guys, we'll start numbering from the carbon which is closer to the double bond. So this will be carbon number 1, carbon 2, 3, 4, and 5 are together. At carbon number 2 and 3, I have my bromos, and then at carbon number 4, I have my methyl. So whenever I name this compound, I'll simply say this will be 2.3 dibromo, and then 4 methyl. The parent chain has 5 carbons. This will be pent, and then between carbon number 2 and 3 there's a double bond, that's 2 in. So the IUPAC name of this compound will simply be 2.3 dibromo 4 methyl pent 2 in. Okay, please guys, you will name the you guys will name this one on the comment section. I'll definitely come back, guys, and check whether you're correct or not. If you're incorrect, I'll definitely come and correct you. I'll definitely come and correct you. That's number 9, but I will name compound number 10. This would be this would be my parent chain over there. Are you together? I must start numbering from the carbon which is closer, from the terminal which is closer to the substituents. Are you together? The substituents can either be halogens or the side chains. This will be carbon number 1, carbon 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I have my fluoros at carbon number 1 and 2. I have my chloros at carbon number 3 and 4. I have my methyl at carbon number 2, and I have my ethyl at carbon number 3. So the IUPAC name, I need to mention the substituents, guys, in an alphabetical order. Are you together? I have chloro, I have fluoro, I have ethyl, and methyl. I know that chloro should appear first in an alphabetical order, so this will be 3.4 dichloro, and then it will be 3 ethyl, and then I'll simply have 1.2 difluoro. You have never seen one like this. And then I also have 2 methyl. This will be pentane. Please allow me, guys, to write the pentane over there because I don't have enough space. Pentane. So the IUPAC name of this compound is simply 3.4 dichloro, 3 ethyl, 1.2 difluoro, and then 2 methyl pentane. Are we together? So that's how, guys, you name these compounds over here. And obviously sometimes I'm given the IUPAC name. All I have to do is to draw. I think drawing these compounds, guys, is easy. I have 2 chloropropane. This part over here, the suffix of a haloalkane, tells me about the structure of my compound. Prop means I have 3 carbons, so that's 1, 2, and 3. And then at carbon number 2, I simply have a chlorine. All I have to do is to write the hydrogens over there. Are you together? And then I have 1.3 dibromobutane. This part over there tells me about the chain length. Are you together? Since it's butane, I will simply have 4 carbons. And then at carbon number 1, I have bromine, as well as carbon number 3 I have bromine. All I have to do is to just write the hydrogens over there. Okay, and then I have 2 iodo 2 methyl propane. This part tells me about my chain length. I have 3 carbons on my parent chain, and then at carbon number 2 I have an iodine, that's an I over there, as well as I have a side chain. This type of a haloalkane is called a tertiary haloalkane. You might be asked probably whenever you're dealing with chemical reactions with regards to organic compounds. It's a tertiary haloalkane because the haloalkane is bonded to a carbon which is bonded to other 3 bonds, to other 3 carbons rather. That's why it's a tertiary haloalkane. Okay. And then number 14, I have 1.2 difluoro 2 methyl butane. This part, guys, the suffix tells me about my parent chain. My parent chain has 4 carbons, excuse me, and all of them have single bonds between them. And at carbon number 1 I have my fluorine, as well as at carbon number 2, but at carbon number 2 I also have a side chain. All I have to do is to write the hydrogens, and then I have the structural formula of 1.2 difluoro and then 2 methyl butane. Then number 15, I have 2 chloro 3 ethyl 2 methyl pentane. The suffix over there, guys, tells me about my chain length. Pent means 4, right? So means 5, excuse me. That means I'll have 5 carbons on my parent chain, and all of the carbons have single bonds between them. But at carbon number 2 I have my chlorine. At carbon number 3 I have an ethyl, and then at carbon number 2 I also have a methyl over there. Yeah, that's all I have. All I have to do, guys, is to write down the hydrogens. That's all I need to do. Hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. I hope you guys understand. And then number 16, I just have 1 bromo, 2 ethyl, 2 methyl hexane. Please note that, guys, these parts over there tells me about my parent chain. My parent chain will simply have 6 carbons since it's hexane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then let me just write the bonds over there. Okay, at carbon number 1 I have bromine, so I'll simply write Br over there. Carbon number 2 I have an ethyl. Ethyl cannot be at carbon number 2. Okay, let's say this was carbon number 3, not 2. Yeah, at carbon number 3 there's an ethyl. Okay, that will be our ethyl. At carbon number 2 I have a methyl, like that, and then all I need to do is to just draw the hydrogens. That's how, guys, you're supposed to draw this compound. This is a structural formula of 1 bromo, 3 ethyl, and 2 methyl hexane. For number 17, I have 3 ethyl, 2 iodo, and then 2 methyl pentane. The last part tells me about my chain length. My chain length will have 5 carbons. And then at carbon number 3 I have an ethyl. Carbon number 2 I have an iodine. At carbon number 2 I have a methyl as well. All you have to do is to write the hydrogens over there. That's how easy it is, guys, to draw a structural formula. Okay, for number 18, I have dichloro-difluoromethane. Meth means I only have one carbon, right? My carbon will be bonded 4 times. It's dichloro, that means I'll have 2 chlorines. Difluoro, I have 2 fluorines as well. So the IUPAC name of this compound is simply dichloro-difluoromethane. Okay, for number 19, I have 2-methyl. Who named this thing? Okay, guys, the actual IUPAC name should have been 1.2.3 trichloro together, and then 2-methyl propane. Why did I change the order, guys? Remember that, guys, whenever you write down the IUPAC name, you should mention your additions in an alphabetical order. Chloro should appear before methyl. Are you together? So I made a mistake there, but that's the correct IUPAC name there, which is written in blue. And obviously the structure would simply be this over here will tell me about my parent chain. It has 3 carbons like this, and then at carbon number 2 I have my methyl, and then at carbon number 1, 2, and 3 I have my chlorines over there, the halogens. Then all I have to do is to write the hydrogens. Are you together? Yes, I could have gotten the structural formula right, but this was not the correct IUPAC naming. The people of general chemistry will arrest me if I do such things. Okay, number 20. I have 1.2 dibromo, 1.2 dichloroethane. What? Oh, that's ethene. Ethene has 2 carbons, and then it has double bonds between those 2 adjacent carbons. Are you together? So all I need to do now is to write I'll simply have bromo over here and bromo over there, as well as chloro and chloro over there. That's how guys are supposed to deal with halogens. Are we together? That's how you're supposed to deal with halogens. I really hope that, guys, the video helped you out. Excuse me about that. I really hope the video helped you out, guys, and just stay tuned and wait for more videos. Thank you for your time. Oh, that's chlorine there and chlorine. Thank you for your time, guys. Please do share to your peers and make sure that they subscribe too. Bye.